Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's 20th anniversary, and it's from one of my favorite bands. As you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about Follow the Reaper by Children of Bodom, the band's third album released on October 30th in the year 2000 through Spine Farm Records. Now, Children of Bodom, definitely this is the introduction. They're one of my favorite bands. This is the band's third album following up their previous album, which came out a year prior, called Hatebreeder. And with Something Wild, their debut, Hatebreeder, I feel like their Children of Bodom were finding their sound, but I feel like with this album, I feel like this really perfected the Children of Bodom sound. Um, and Children of Bodom are, for me, I feel like a lot of people have like five have a favorite album when it comes to this band. Some people say this is their best album, or Hey Crew Death Roll, which is ironically my favorite album up there. Some people even say that Hail of Blood from 2013 is their best, which, which is kind of interesting to seeing. But I feel like this album, or probably with Hey Crew Death Roll, I feel like that's just pretty much a starting point of album if you want to get into the band. This is one of those albums that you would really want to start with. And Children of Bodom, and this, in my opinion, is a great album. It's a great melodic death metal or melodic black metal. I mean, some people even consider Children of Bodom black metal. I mean, I definitely don't see that. I feel like Children of Bodom really take more from the Gothenburg melodic death metal bands from Sweden, like At the Gates, Dark Tranquility, Early in Flames, and so on and so forth. I mean, and I feel like they're sort of like the bridge between the death metal and black metal. I don't know, I definitely have that hybrid. And just let's just talk about production. Fantastic. I mean, they still have like kind of like that raw kind of like sound that black metal has, which I guess why people would consider it black metal, but I'm getting way off track. But anyway, let's move on to the album. Production wise, fantastic, and just the guitar work on this album is just insane. From Alexi Lehio's guitar playing and even his vocals just sound really sick. It just the rhythms are great from Alexander and Henke Sabala. And drumming wise, Jaska is just great drumming, and just the keyboards from Yanni Warman. I feel like the keyboards, like, or just on any Children of Bodom album, bring a lot of depth to it. And pretty much a lot of great different vibes. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the title track, "Follow the Reaper," which starts off with the quote, which just death be not proud. What there's or something like that. I can't even remember. But it pretty much sets like the whole tone and the whole vibe of this album, and pretty much what to expect. And then it just kicks off with some really great symphonic riffs, and the way the boards pretty much add like a lot of harmony and a lot of atmosphere to it. And it's pretty much a good flow with all out chaos, and it's just really destructive and insane. And the quote saying, "I was only 21 when I died." It's just very unsettling and mysterious, which I think is a great way to start off this album. And then we lead into Bodom After Midnight, which is ironically the new band that Alexi Lehio was in now after Children of Bodom split up last year. But I feel like this song pretty much takes the catchiness to a whole new level. But I feel like Bodom After Midnight brings in a lot of the fun element, especially in the chorus of the song. And the guitar solo follows, bringing sort of like a positive element to sort of a dark album, which sort of adds to the catchiness. And it's almost like has like a symphonic death metal vibe here. Then we move on to Children of Decadence, which is probably one of my favorite Children of Bodom songs ever. And this song brings in more of the symphonic element and really sets the tone and emotion right out of the gate. It is truly remarkable, and its unsettling melody and just the guitars and the keyboards is amazing. And it's a really impressive track. It's just a complete 180 turn from what we heard so far, and it's just perfects the formula of the Children of Bodom sound, but sort of like showing another side of them emotionally and musically as well. Then we move on to Every Time I Die. Now, this song pretty much takes a more slower, doomy, atmospheric vibe. It has a great demonstration of how the solos and just the keyboards just rotate back and forth with each other. And I just love about Children of Bodom is how they switch from the heavy guitars with sort of like classical music, and it really changes the pace, but it doesn't interrupt the flow because this album has a great consistency all throughout. Then we move on to the next song on the album, which is called Mask of Sanity. And just the way the synths lead you in, followed by the guitar just sweep, is just letting out just pure aggression, just great melody under here. It's just pure symphonic chaos. And the vocals have a bit of melody, which makes it sound a bit eerie. Taste of My Scythe, which kind of similar to what the first song has. It brings back another dialogue or just another movie quote from, I believe it's from The Shining or The Exorcist. That's from what I was looking up, and I feel like the narrative really adds to it, and it gives sort of like a fresh taste to what we've already heard, which is a fucking great. And it just feels like you just want to get into the darker depths of the band, and this is the track, I believe. So next song is Hate Me. Now this is pretty much the catchiness returns with the song, and I've heard this was only the single from this album, which is kind of surprising. I really wish they could have had like Every Time I Die as a single, or Bodom After Midnight. But this song is great. It starts off with some synths, which gives it kind of like a vibe of being in like a haunted house, and just the catchy solo, and then it just shows like an emotional side of Alexi Lehio expressing sort of like pain through one of the most joyous melodies. And I really love this, the trade-off with Alexi and Yane, and just the vocals are just catchy, and just the lyrics is like, I don't give a fuck if you hate me. Great song. Next song is Northern Comfort, and I really love that melody that's incorporated. Has like a similar or kind of like on Mask of Sanity, but I just feel like the intensity is there, and it just keeps the momentum going. And then we close things out with Kissing the Shadows, which has that similar vibe with that aura, and I feel like it's a great way to end the album. It's subtle but intense at the same time. Now overall, Follow the Reaper by Children of Bodom, a great album to their discography. If you want to get into Children of Bodom, this is one of these albums that you would start with, or even, like I mentioned before, Hate Crew, Death Roll. So I give this album a score. I'm probably going to give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of Follow the Reaper, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album. And thank you guys for watching. See you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.